Hey Canucks fans, the Canucks managed a point last night against the Wild. Will Lockwood will be called up, and it's one day until my meetup. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks Take on One Take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, March the 25th. If you're new, this is what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. I was not able to watch the game last night, nor vlog, because Gail and I were at the Billie Eilish concert. It was a lot of fun. It was a surprise appearance for us. We were given the tickets by Jason of Van City Experts. Thank you, Jason. And I was very impressed. She's a very talented musician, artist, singer with a positive message. I know you're not here for my Billie Eilish takes, but overall, it was a great night, a great date night for Gail and me, starting off with a night dinner at the Keg. Okay, thanks again, Jason. And let's get to the Canucks game. I didn't do a full vlog, of course, but I was able to watch parts of the game, and especially the highlights. And yes, you want the Canucks to get 2 points instead of 1, given where they are in their playoff race and their dwindling playoff chances. But you can't fault them for the effort. This was a gutsy effort. Vancouver only got in Minnesota at 4 a.m. or maybe it was like 2 or 3 a.m. And then by the time they went to bed, it was 4 a.m. Regardless, they got to Minnesota and went to bed in the middle of the night, after playing a game in high altitude Denver, Colorado. So when you think about all that, it's quite an impressive achievement yesterday, how well they played. And remember, Minnesota's a really good team. They're battling for second in the Central behind the powerful Avalanche. So to only have a few hours of sleep and to play on a back-to-back after traveling, when you consider all that, it makes sense that the Canucks started well and then they faded at the end. But they still managed to get a point. Would love to have 2, like I said. But overall, I thought they played well. Everyone from Demko making 33 saves to our big players being our big players. Once again, Miller, Besser, Pettersson, and Horvat, our 4 best forwards. They were the ones who got points yesterday. Travis Dermott and Brad Richardson saw a big dip in their minutes compared to Wednesday night. Richardson only played 8 minutes. And then Dermott only played 13 minutes, a far cry from the 15 that they both had on Wednesday night. But the Canucks in this game were chasing as opposed to protecting. So you can see why the top 6 got more minutes up front and the top 4 got more minutes on the back end. So I didn't have any problem with that. I thought overall, it was a gutsy effort by the Vancouver Canucks. You know, there's a lot of debate about JT Miller's effort or lack thereof in overtime. We know what happens. Petey, Hughes, and Miller start the overtime. They gain control. Miller and Hughes avoid running into each other, avoid giving up basically a breakaway right at the start. Miller takes the puck and rips a puck off the post over Talbot's glove hand. Pettersson's behind the net trying to get the puck. Hughes comes down, and then it leaves what looks like it's going to be a 2-on-1 between Eriksson Ek and Kaprizov. It ended up being a breakaway because Brodin got it up to Kaprizov, who got it up to Eriksson Ek really, really quickly. And while Miller was turning, or while he was anticipating maybe a 2-on-1 instead of a breakaway, or maybe, quite frankly, Miller was gassed. And that's why I give him a bit of a pass. Sure, you want to see a bit more effort, especially with all the games on the line. And he's the one who's talking about giving effort all the time. But I'm sure after 2 games where he's played over 20 minutes, and just finishing a good foray, an offensive foray into the Wild zone, maybe he was gassed. Maybe I think it just looked bad because even if he was skating at full speed, by the time Eriksson Ek got the puck at the red line, he was going to beat, because he was in full flight already. He was going to beat Miller no matter what. So I think it would have looked a little bit a little bit better if Miller skated a tiny bit faster. But I think it actually looked a lot worse than it was. Having said that, if he is one of the acknowledged leaders, you do want to see, even if it wasn't going to make it, it just looked like he was trying a bit harder. Maybe that would appease some people. Overall, I didn't think it was a big deal. However, I did get a couple texts from a couple good friends of mine who were really, really livid at Miller's effort on that play. But then you look at his game, he scores 1 goal, obviously the game-tying goal on the power play, 4 shots on goal, 2 hits and a block, 67% in the faceoff circle, 22 minutes. So he's a very complete player. Obviously, you see that -2. That's the biggest one, mostly because of that overtime goal. So we'd love to know your thoughts on Miller's effort on that game-winning goal for Minnesota. Were you upset with him and the way he didn't back check hard enough, or do you give him a pass? And the last thing I'll say is for those of you that may be more upset with him, I get that this isn't the first time he's done this. I get that we've seen this a few times, even in overtime. And I get that even Boudreau was talking to Miller before overtime started. Who knows? Well, Boudreau said it was just simply about coverage, which obviously Miller didn't listen to. So let me know what you think. I'd love to know your comments about JT Miller in the comments below. Quick note about Will Lockwood and Jack Rathbone. According to Rick Dollywall and others, it sounds like Lockwood will be called up, will join the team in Dallas. Remember, the Canucks went on this trip with only 12 forwards. They didn't have an extra forward in the lineup because Dickinson and Höglander are both hurt, and Patan, Rempel, and all those guys went back down to Abbotsford. So they will call up Will Lockwood. He will be an extra forward, and I could see him easily getting into a game for Patan. You can move Lammikko into the middle, split Lammikko and Richardson up. You have your four centers. I could see Patan coming out and Lockwood going in as a winger. I could also see Chason coming out and then Lockwood going in for him. So we know what Lockwood, what kind of style he brings. He's very kind of bulldog, feisty, pit bull, whatever you want to use, term, noun, dog, whatever type of dog. But yes, I remember seeing him at the Abbotsford training camp. He was good. He was fast. He had hit. He's got a good shot. And I think he's the type who will eventually find his way on the roster on a full-time basis, maybe as early as next season. So we'll see if Lockwood gets into the game on Saturday in Dallas or the game on Monday in St. Louis. So I'm excited for that prospect, and I'm also excited to see that was a prospect used in a double way. Thank you. And Jack Rathbone too. I expect him to see some games, and I would love to see Rathbone and Dermott on a pair together to see what they can do. Give the Canucks more of an offensive flair that way, as long as their defense doesn't suffer. One other thing, and then we'll get into the meetup. The Canucks, with the 1 point, they are now 4 points out of a playoff spot instead of 3. Right? They entered the night 3 games out, but Dallas won. So Dallas got 2, Vancouver got 1. So where Vancouver sits is at 71 points in 66 games, 4 behind Dallas, but Dallas has 3 games in hand. So you got to presume Dallas gets at least 3 points out of that. So really, we're about 6 or 7 points out. But right now, we have 71 points in 66 games. That means there are 16 games left. I said before last night's game, the Canucks got to go 12-4-1 to get to 95 points. Well, there goes the 1. So now they got to basically go 12-4. They got to go at 750 points percentage the rest of the way. Not impossible, but not easy to do. So 12-4, they can only afford 4 more losses in the next 16 games. Just something to keep an eye on. Lastly, tomorrow, Canuck Clay meetup. Monkey 9 Brewing in Richmond from 3:30 to 7:30. The Canucks game is at 4. We got contests, we got prizes, we got giveaway, we got a meet and greet, of course, we got food and drink specials, and we have a live post-game show that I'm not going to be putting on YouTube. So if you want to come and be part of the live post-game show, you have to come to Monkey 9 directly. Hopefully the weather's a lot better than the last time we did the meetup back in November. This location, easier for some, more difficult than others, but there's definitely buses that get out to Monkey 9. So look it up, and I'd love to see you tomorrow in Richmond for my next meetup. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, friends, let me know in the comments anything you want to talk about. JT Miller's effort or lack thereof on the overtime goal. The Canucks' effort overall in gaining 3 points out of a possible 4 against 2 very tough teams in Colorado and Minnesota. Will Lockwood being called up, and whether or not you're going to make it down to the meetup tomorrow. I'd love to have a heads up if you are planning on coming down. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link in my video descriptions. And Advanced City Expert, contact Jason, Advanced City Experts Real Estate Group. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. And thank you, Jason, once again for the Billie Eilish tickets last night. Thank you to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, and Hall of Fame members Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Brewfield, Shannon Hollingworth, HSM Fangirl Gaming, Smooth Groove, and Carol Bovenlander. Thank you for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this during my videos or the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to, become a member or upgrade if you like to, leave a comment down below if you like to, just how you're feeling about the Vancouver Canucks right now. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I'll check in with one video tomorrow ahead of my meetup tomorrow afternoon. God bless, and go Canucks go.